Okay, so let's say you have the area of where you want to go, you know where you want to go, you know how long the trip is, and you know what your budget is. So, just as a point of reference, what I would do, for instance, I would say, like, let's say if I was using $600 to travel for the month, right? And I'm backpacking. Then I would take that $600 and divide it by 30. Like there's 30 days in a month. So take your budget and divide it by the amount of days. And that kind of gives you a ballpark of the average, your daily budget average. So basically you need to find, let's say maybe your budget, your average budget, once you do the math, 600 divided by 30 days, I think that's 20. Sorry, that's to say it's 20. So that means that you need to find food, you need to find a place to stay, and your transportation, and whatever type of fun, beer, whatever it may be. You need to get all your expenses under $20 a day. So that's what that is for. Now, I do want to say that when you start traveling, it's very, 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 very important that you have an emergency savings account, like emergency money, like you do not touch. Just like do not touch this money under no circumstances. And this money is for, like, let's say you need to fly home, or just something happened, like something really came up, is way out of the budget, like, life threatening. Then you will use this emergency money. You want it to be accessible. So not like on a credit card, something like that. It needs to be easily accessible, just in case you need to use it at any time of the day or whatever it may be. So it's very important that you budget correctly. Now, let's talk a little bit about the accommodations. Now, as you know, you are traveling, you're backpacking, you're staying several days and months in random places from place to place. So there's a number of ways you can travel cheaply and stay at cheap places. One of the most popular way people backpack is to stay at hostels. And this is very easy, and I stay at hostels and I have a lot of fun there. I've met a lot of great people from all around the world. I reconnected with these people back in their country when I travel with them, or, maybe in another state or another country, like randomly. Like I met a girl in Argentina and she was from London, and I met her in London twice already when I went to London. So you can kind of do that, meet people in the hostel. Now, going to the hostels, there are several ways you can book hostels. The way I like to book hostels, and it just worked perfectly for me, I can just use my Visa debit card on the app, is Hostel World. It's an app. It's called Hostel World. You can book online on hostelworld.com, or you can book through the app. And then with Hostel World, it's a really great app. You can see the pictures of the place. You can read reviews, and you can see what the prices are, the different rooms they have available. And the rooms vary, whether you just want all girl room or all guy room, like one gender room, whether you want to do mix, boys and girls, or whether you want to have a four beds, 6 beds, 8, 16, 20 beds. I don't know. I don't usually sleep with that many people in the same room. That's a lot of people. And what if someone snores? I don't know. But it depends on your budget. Hey, you might have to chop it up. So like I said about that daily budget, once you get kind of a ballpark, then you want to kind of, on the sign, do like a ranking of what is the least expensive to the most expensive. You want to rank it, as far as where do you think you're going to spend the most money? Where is the places that's going to have the most, it's going to cost the most to spend the night there. So when I was in Paris, I think the hostels, if I'm not mistaken, was I don't remember, but I remember in London, the hostel was like $50, almost $60, and it was just 4 beds and one small cramped room. And I was like, whoa, this is the most I've ever spent on a hostel, like $50. This is crazy. But, that's London. It's expensive. So London was the most expensive hostel I've ever stayed in. The second most expensive one was in Paris. So I know, like, if I was doing a backpacking trip and I was planning to go through those places, especially in Europe, if you plan to backpack in Europe, you're gonna need a lot more money. If you're going for more budget backpacking, the best I think will be South America, because I've done that. I've lived in South America. I studied in South America. I have friends in South America, and I love South America. It's just amazing. Also, Asia, I heard, is also very cheap too as well. I've traveled in Asia, but I have not backpacked in Asia. But the cost of living is cheap there. I know, like Bali, you can get like a nice villa, even though that's like, far out there. You're probably not going to be backpacking in Bali. But that's just to say that Asia is also a cheap alternative backpacking trip to as well that you can consider. So you got your accommodation. Do you have to look at food? Okay. So once you stay in these hostels, most of these hostels, like 99%, they're going to have a refrigerator. So it's a great idea to budget and see, okay, I have $10, I have $5, $10, $15, whatever your budget is, food per day. So you need to say, okay, I have, $10 or $15 or $20, whatever your budget is. And you know yourself, you need breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a snack, midnight snack, whatever it may be. And you kind of need a budget. So usually when I travel, I like to have like one good meal a day. If I say one good meal a day, like that's something maybe I cooked, that's complete. Or maybe I'll go out to eat just out on the street to get some food, some street food. But something that's helpful, I would say, is to go to the grocery store, especially if you're staying in a hostel for like more than 5 days. I suggest going to a grocery store or a market, get some fruit, some oatmeal, whatever you may need, something that's cost effective, that's easy, that you can eat, and that's also filling, and you can just snack on that when you're hungry. And I could do a whole nother video on cheap ways to eat while backpacking. So you got your food budget, you got your accommodation budget, then you have your transportation budget. This is very, 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 very important. This varies from person to person, and it also depends on which country and how long do you plan to travel. As you know, you can fly places, place to place to place to place, which is going to be the most expensive. However, it does depend on which country are you which continent and what countries you're going to, because I know a flight from Germany to Italy, I remember my Italian friend got a round trip ticket for $18. So hey, that works out perfectly. You also have to look at your luggage too as well. Is your luggage is going to be oversized? Chances are it's going to be pretty heavy, depending on how you pack, especially if you're planning on living somewhere for a long period of time, like a lot of months. So you got buses, those are options. You got trains, you got trams, public transportation, and you want to map out how much is it going to cost to get to place. You don't want to get any surprises. Things do get delayed, especially if you plan on doing some transfers and things like that. I do know in Europe, there's an app called BlaBlaCar. BlaBlaCar, BlaBlaCar. Now this app is like 75-80% reliable, based on my experience and other people's experience. Basically, it's a long distance Uber, if you ask me. It's an Uber. People are on there, they say like, hey, I'm planning to do a trip to Milan, Italy, or I plan to do a trip to Amsterdam from Germany. I'm going on Sunday. I got 3 seats. I got 4 seats, whatever it may be. And the app pretty much maps out like where it's going to pick you up at, meet you and the driver, and they drive you there. And it's pretty cost effective. Like I did a trip from Germany to Paris to the west side of Germany, southwest of Germany, and it was like $25 compared to if I took the train, it would have probably been like $125. So it just really depends on how long you have to go. Maybe your trip is not that long. Maybe you can fly. Maybe you can afford it. Maybe you can ride with some travelers. Renting a car is also an option. That is an option. Maybe you and your travelers got together and decide to rent a car. however it may be. But you do have to budget for transportation because you don't want to be stuck in one place. I mean, that kind of sucks. You just kind of like stranded, you know? So that's your transportation. And then I brushed off this briefly before. You have your attractions. So you know which places, or you should have researched where exactly you want to go, and you need to look at the admissions of the museums and the tourist attractions to see how much these things cost, and put those also in the budget as well. Chances are these won't be in like the daily budget. I recommend having like 3 budgets, okay? You have your emergency money on the side that you don't touch. You have your daily budget, okay? And then you have your fun, your entertainment budget. And, you know, I like it to do it that way because it's not like I'm going to see tourist attractions every single day, or I'm spending money on tourist attractions or souvenirs. So that's a whole nother budget, you know, or you're not going out partying, so you don't need to have like that for like a daily budget. You get what I'm saying? So entertainment is like a whole nother, and it's very flexible too as well. So I like to keep those budgets intact, and it keeps you out of trouble and keeps you not so worried financially and struggling, because what you don't want is to be there and you don't have any money and you're stranded and you're calling Tyrone, telling you want to come home. I'm just playing. That was kind of funny though. But yeah, so that's the main thing, how you backpack. There's of course a lot more to it. You want to be safe. You want to pack smart. You want to look at the weather to make sure that you are packing for the weather, whether it's hot, cold, humid, whatever it may be, wet, you know, wherever. I don't know where you're planning to travel exactly, but you want to make sure that you pack, because what you don't want is to get there and have to spend money on things that you already had at home, such as a rain jacket or snow boots. And these things can be very expensive, especially if it's in a touristy area. These things can be very expensive. Another thing that I would consider too, if I were you, when you're doing a backpacking trip, is to get an international plug converter. This is very important. You can get these off Amazon or at like any type of electronic store, but I just prefer to get it from Amazon because I can actually look at it. And basically what this is each country will have maybe like a different type of plug. And when I say plug, like a plug, like you plug in an iron or plug in your cell phone charger or anything like that. Because what you don't want is you not show up with one and your phone dies, you have no way of charging your phone. So you want to have like this international plug converter. I would show you, but I don't have one with me on me like right now to like reach and grab, but it'll be cool. Like you can like pop it out, the prongs. You can have one from like UK and you push that in, and then you pull this out, and this is the one for Australia. You push that in, and then you turn the knobs there, the little prongs that you plug in the wall, and it's like Australia, and then you turn this way, oh, it's UK. So I just like to have that one in all type charger converter because it's amazing, and I've had the same one for like ever, and it's like I love it. I love it. So get a plug converter, do your research, know about safety, know what to bring, know what not to bring, and just pack smart and think smart. And it helps to have a budget 1000%. Okay? So where do you plan on going? And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.